Do you like my shirt? It's covered in paint. I use it for decorating. I've been sanding this floor all weekend. I've just started to wax oil it, but I've got to get tea on. I'm cooking tonight. It's New Year's Eve and we're having fish pie with some cod I caught this week. Well, finally it's arrived. My codling. Lovely. Well done. Thank you, Triton. I'll start with the potatoes. Okay, because I've got to get them on to boil. So quickly peel them. Got all the knobbly bits off. All the worms out. All the bruised bits and the growths and the brown crap. I should be left with a piece at some point. I'll be boiling these up to make a mash, so I'm going to start by just chopping them roughly into smaller pieces. Like that they'll cook quicker. Right, got half a dozen eggs, okay? These have just come out of the fridge. They're going to go in the pan, in the boiling water as well. Potatoes, salt, water, eggs. Spinach. It's like Popeye. Stick a good old wad of spinach in there. Stick the whole lot. That gets rid of that. Right, gonna rinse this down. My dad hates spinach. That's all they ate during the war, he tells me. He was 2.5 when the war ended. Right, so that's gonna go on top there with all my potatoes and my eggs in. Looks bizarre. What's gonna happen is the potatoes and the eggs are gonna boil, the spinach is gonna steam. Next ingredient, carrots. 5 carrots, because 5 is my lucky number. Okay, you can use 1, you can use 2, use however many you like, I really don't care. It doesn't matter because you're not looking at altering the actual flavour of the fish pie, you're looking at the additional vegetables or additional flavours in there. Right, I want to keep these nice and chunky. Okay. So there's a bit of crunch, a bit of solidity in the pie. Let's go for a couple of decent onions. Again, fairly reasonable chunks. Nothing too small, nothing too big. Good slug of olive oil in the pan. We'll leave that to heat up. Carrots and onion into the pan with the olive oil. Lemon juice. Right, I'm going to grate some cheese. Because mature cheddar. Going to finish it off with a bit of red Leicester because I don't think I've got enough cheddar. I do like a lot of cheese. A bit longer. Right, we put this to drain. I know you lot like my reductions. 10p flat leaf parsley, straight out the freezer. Let's chop some of that up. I know it's not fresh. Doesn't matter. Spinach is nice and limp. I'm going to squeeze the rest of the juice out of that because it's very wet. This. Boiled eggs, down at 5 because one of them bust. I'm going to cool them off so that I can peel them in a minute. There's something missing. Oh, I know. Right, let's move all this crap out of the way. Look at that. Fresh, smoked. I say fresh, it's 2 days old, been sitting in the fridge. That'll firm it up, give it a nicer flavour, nicer texture. Those have been cold smoked. That's a brace of cod, quart of Corton, both about 3-pounders. So you've got a nice bit of fish in there. Just chuck them in willy-nilly, okay? The idea is to have chunks of smoked fish here, chunks of the other fish there, all spread about. Same again with the unsmoked portions. Nice big thick chunks. You want a bit of meat in there to get your teeth into. You have big old pieces. Look at that. Don't know if you'll see it. Nice thick clear flesh. Contrast it with the smoked one. That's beautiful food. Right, boiled eggs. I've peeled them. Going to cut them in half. If you're a fisherman, ask a responsible adult to do this for you so that you don't take your fingers off. Normally, I use quail eggs because my nephew has got half a dozen quails which lay, and they're brilliant. Whole boiled quail eggs, fantastic size in here, and they don't tend to separate, so you get your egg, you get a taste of the white and a taste of the yolk. I'm going to chuck in bits of spinach, alright? I don't want massive clumps, but I want little clumps of it, little tastes of it, little pockets of spinach. Cream, double cream. I want a good amount of this, so I'm going to use a couple of tubs. Pour that in to your onion and carrot. Big tablespoon of mustard, Coleman's English mustard from Norwich. It's a penguin shaped spoon in case you're not sure of the precise measurements. Season it. Remember the lemon juice? In it goes. Parsley and cheese. Whole lot in there. Look at that. Beautiful. Right, let's give it a stir and mix it all up. Such wonderful pretty colours. Yellows, orange, green, white. Oh Daddy, that looks fantastic. But it's not my favourite. Right, just going to grate some nutmeg into this. Just for that little extra special kick. Nutmeg's good with fish, so's mace as well. Right, the sauce is nice and thick, so I'm going to pour that over the fish, spinach and eggs. Make sure it goes everywhere, except on my nice clean sandy floor. Hang the potatoes now to make the mash. Put them into the colander that I used earlier. Get the water out. Get the bit of spinach out. Mash. Nobody likes a boring mash. Stick some milk in. Don't be shy. Add some pepper. Add some salt. And forget your diet, good old knob of Anchor butter in there. And get mashing. I'm just waiting for the mash, but there's the bare bones of the fish pie. So you can see everything that's in there. You may notice there's no salmon. That's because I don't catch salmon. You might consider to be missing is prawns. I catch prawns in the summer, but I don't like prawns in a fish pie. First of all, they go rubbery because you're cooking your pie for so they don't have a lot of flavour once they're in a pie because of the other flavours in there competing with it. I'd rather have my prawns mildly boiled in salted water for a minute or two and served separately. Right, got my mashed potato, all nice and thick. So I'm just going to slop that onto the fish pie, just on the top. Fish pie is still a little bit moist, so it's going to wobble, so I'm just putting it on fairly slowly because I want to try and cover the whole of the top of the pie with potato. That's the mash all put on. I'm just going to put a little bit more salt and pepper on the top just to season the mash a bit better, having had a taste. And that's now ready to go in the oven for about half an hour, which will cook the fish and crisp up the top. Look at that. Meal fit for a king. I've borrowed a kitchen. We've got out for dinner. We take our own food.
Rubbish service you get here, isn't it?
Yeah, well, don't like them restaurants either. So there we go. That's going to go in for half an hour.
Hey!
Oh, look at that! Look at that! The cheese has bubbled through, sauce has bubbled through.
Perfect!
Nice and brown.
Pretty pleased with that then.
Yeah. Smells alright. Oh, excellent.
Ooh, I need a zoom function as well.
Vertical? Oh, look at that. That's what I call a fish pie. Perfectly done. Beautiful. That's a proper English fish supper. Lovely job.
Orange. It's not my favourite.